I'm glad to see you.
I'd like to make you an offer. I've been appointed bailiff of Pribyslavitz. We're resettling the place and I need a huntsman there. What do you say?
Ah, Henry. I'm already Sir Divish's master huntsman. That'd be a step down. Sorry, but you'll have to find someone else. Take care.
Master Huntsman, is there any work for me here?
There's always something that needs doing. You're that Skalitz lad, aren't you? Sir Radzig's lackey.
That'll be me.
Right. I saw you here shortly after the attack. My word, to get away from Talmberg like that, quite remarkable. It's clear you're not easily scared. So I do have a job for you.
I'm listening.
We've been having terrible problems with poachers lately. In Sir Divish's forests, we've been finding gutted entrails of deer and rabbit nooses all over the place. But no sign of the bastards who put them there.
And you want me to try...
Indeed. Whatever...
Do you suspect anyone?
Well, it's hard to say. But seeing how much harm they're causing, I'd say they're no crofters looking for a Sunday roast.
Shouldn't you be dealing with the poachers yourself?
I should, you're quite right. But when I ask the local folk anything, their mouths close up like clams. They're more scared of me than the devil.
Do you think the locals are in on it?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But even if not, they'll never talk to me. They're scared I'll dig some skeleton out of their cupboard. You know, the smaller the village, the bigger the secrets. That's why I need an outsider to ask for me.
I understand. I don't have time for that.
Very well. Goodbye.
About that business with the poachers.
Yes?
I'll try to...
Certainly. Ask her. And it wouldn't hurt to ask in the inn in the glade.
That's clear enough.
Thanks for your help. Goodbye.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here.
If you ask me, there's some question. Goodbye.
Yeah! 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God bless. Can I help you?
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
What about them?
Well, I wondered if you've got any idea who might be doing it.
Tom of the Baths was mouthing off in the tavern, that's all I know. God be with you.
God grant your help.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game.
Don't ask me. Talk to
I see. Bye.
Good luck then.
I'm glad to see
I'd like to find out. I don't have time for gossip. If that's what you're.
Good luck then.
Mother of My pleasure.
Good God, you look. Goodbye.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
Take care.
I'd like to find.
I don't know anything about it. Take care. Good luck then.
God save.
I'd like to find out.
I don't know anything about that, but God be with you. A tankard here.
God be with you.
Would you know of any way I could?
As it happens,
So, tell me.
now and again, the fisherman from Talmberg comes around.
Hey,
There isn't.
why's that?
He's a strange one.
That won't be from. Would you know of any way?
As it happens,
So, tell.
now and again.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rossz helyen vagy, rossz időben! Vigyázz! Itt az ellenség!
Ezért megdöglek!
Istenem! Vigyázz!
Go!
Az Isteni!
Chuck.
rombolni, robbolni,
Beszarás!
dobni
És
zajára.
pont amikor kedvem lenne valakiből kiverni a lelket.
Éget rombolni.
Vigyázz! Látom az ellenséget! Keci! Ja! Ja!
God grant you. Goodbye.
Greetings, good night. Goodbye.
I hope I...
God save.
I heard you got
In the woods and out of them. Certainly it.
cutting a deer's head up.
Maybe they want to show that
Do you think it was someone late?
I really don't know.
And what about you?
It could be
What's so suspicious about it?
just that he was.
So why did...
Ah, that's.
Did he?
I doubt it. But if you want to know more,
Tell me something...
he used to.
What happened?
Those two didn't get. But it all came to a head.
Sir Hanish's father.
Just so.
And what happened to her?
That's just it. No.
So how did Nicholas put the blame on her?
Nicholas always had a viper's tongue. That evening there'd been.
What was going on with Margaret?
Her father
Tell me...
He.
I want to what? That'll be all.
Goodbye.
I'm honoured.
I've heard Tom of the...
So he did. And a few days later,
Did they have anything else?
not really, I tell
And what did he say to that?
nothing. He had more booze in him than the castle cellar. He just
Do you suppose...
hardly.
All right.
I feel.
And who is this?
Oh, he's Tom.
Where can I find him?
Well, most likely.
Do you think Nick...
A master huntsman who lets poachers run wild through his woods.
Right. Folk are talk...
Oh, good.
Thank you, Ink. How are the...
Huh?
What... Thank...
I hope I can be.
Good luck then.
I'm at your service.
Good luck then.
I'm honored that
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away.
I heard you were yelling in the tavern that you were off to hunt some venison.
Look here. I don't know who you are, but you should watch your mouth.
I will, don't you worry. So what happened then?
What? Nothing. It was just the beer talking. I got pissed and started spouting shit. Didn't mean a word of it.
Maybe not. That remains to be seen. That'll do me. I hear there's been trouble with poachers recently.
I don't have time to talk to strangers. Good day to you. See you later.
God be with you.
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
I don't know any.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted...
I said I don't know any. If you want to know anything, go see Blacksmith's Betty. She saw them feasting in the woods.
Feasting?
That's all I know. But don't worry. She'll took your ear off. Goodbye.
My humble greetings. How may I help you?
I'd like to find out about the poachers round here who've been stealing game recently.
If I were you, I'd ask Thomas, the bath hand. He was boasting in the tavern about how he was off to the woods for some game. God be with you.
Yeah.
God's blessings. Goodbye. Lost something here about. Good luck then. Looking for something around here. What's that?
God preserve you, good night.
I'd like to find...
I don't know it.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I said I don't...
Feasting?
That's all I... Good luck then.
God save. Good luck then.
God watch over you. Take care. Goodbye.
God preserve you.
I heard there are poachers in the woods round here.
If only if it was just poachers. It's that sorcerer Hare.
Tell me something about...
Ah, that was all years ago. He turned up here one day. He claimed up at the castle to be a nobleman.
And how did his sorcery reveal itself?
Well, he was able to vanish into thin air in the forest right in front of folk. And I've heard it said he spoke to Anna.
That doesn't sound very convincing to me.
That's because you've not seen his marksmanship. It wasn't natural, the things he could do with that bow of his. They say he sold his soul for the gift of it.
I see. How did it go with Margaret?
I'm not one to gossip, but she was a flighty lass in her younger years. She could never make up her mind which one she wanted, the Hare or Nicholas. So in the end, fate decided for her.
What do you mean? What happened with Hare?
Oh, that was quite something. And then some on top of it. Sir Henry of Lipa was visiting here at the castle, and Hare snapped his guardsman's neck with his bare hands. Of course, they found him out. But how do you keep a sorcerer under lock and key? You can't. That's your answer. And that Satan spawn slipped the net.
Oh well, quite a wild story. Any idea why he murdered the man?
No one knows, and most likely never will. But they say he was fully in the devil's power. There was a full moon, you see.
Was he actually seen killing the guardsman?
I suppose so. Else they'd hardly know who did it, would they?
That's probably true. There is one other... Has anyone actually seen this Hannikin Hare? He seems to exist only as a bogeyman to frighten naughty children.
Oh, he exists all right. But he flits around in the forest like a shadow. They won't be catching him anytime soon. But Blacksmith's Betty heard some of their goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Cavorting and raising hell. Sorcery! Hare meets up with his sorcerer's apprentices, and they feast in the clearing in the woods. In the morning, they turn into ravens and scatter. Or so she says. But you'll have to ask Betty for more. Who knows what she saw? Or what she was doing there with them.
Very well. I'll ask. Who does Hare want revenge on?
Master Huntsman Nicholas, of course. When the Hare disappeared, Nicholas took his Margaret and the huntsman's posting.
So Nicholas came out of it well?
That one always knew how to land on his feet.
Tell me...
He claimed...
Well,
God be with you.
I want to ask...
So ask.
Thanks.
Good luck then.
I'm glad to see you.
I've been hearing some quite wild stories about hair.
People do prattle on. It happened a long time ago, and I've heard some crazy tales myself.
And what's your version of what happened?
Hare was a stuck-up knob. He came here with nothing to show but his bare arse. But he thought he could have anything he pointed at. All because he was of noble stock.
Whatever became of him?
Oh, you must have heard. He killed one of the armed men that served Sir Henry of Lipa, and they sentenced him to hang. Except he scapered right out of the castle dungeon.
How did he manage that?
Nobody knows, but I'll bet he had help from someone up at the castle.
And what was your wife's role in all this?
He had his eye on her, and she didn't want him. That's all. And it had nothing to do with what happened later.
I heard that he was a sorcerer.
And I've heard there's blooming roses on Rattay Gallows at Christmas. A sorcerer. Bah! Hare was a ruffian, but there was nothing supernatural about it.
That's all I need.
Goodbye.
Good health to you.
I'd like to ask you about Hannikin Hare.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
That'll do me. I'd like to ask you...
I'm sorry.
The thing is, every time I spoke to someone about Hare, they always ended up talking about you.
But I don't.
You aren't to blame for anything, is that it? Well, I am willing to believe you, but you do know more than you're telling, and I need to hear it.
Very well. You're right. And what would you like to know about Hare?
Did Hare really commit the murder?
God in heaven, how should I know? Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
That remains to be seen. How were things between you and Hare back then?
There was nothing between us. Hannikin Hare impressed my father with all his talk of noble blood. But I couldn't stand him, and I didn't want to marry him. And then it made no odds after he ran away.
So you didn't want him? I only asked because I've heard differently.
That's village talk. Of course folk gossip. Mostly they just want to hurt Nicholas.
That'll be everything.
May the Lord watch over you.
humble greetings. How may I serve you?
I need to ask you something about the poachers.
What? Me? Why me, for Christ's sake?
They say you were mouthing off in the tavern.
We'd all had a few ales. You know what it's like. The tales get taller.
So you didn't go poaching with Thomas?
My God, no. That would never even cross our minds. Thomas is a bit wild, but I have some sense at least. Goodbye.
I'm here to
Well, ask away.
That'll do me.
God be with you.
Yeah. Andrew, the innkeeper, sent me. Said you had a job for someone who's good with a bow.
Did he now? That's all very well, but I don't know if you're a man I can trust.
So how can I prove it to you?
For a start, you can tell me why a lad like you wants to join us.
It's simple. I love to hunt, but I haven't a drop of blue blood in me. So what else can I do?
True. The damn law won't let a man do what's natural. Anyway, I have to check you out first. See if you're any good.
I'm listening.
To begin with, I need to know if you're at home in the woods. And if you're any kind of hunter. Bring me some deer antlers, and then we'll talk.
Easy.
I was beginning to worry you'd got lost in the forest.
It wasn't easy, I'll say that.
Just wait till we go on a proper hunt, then you'll see. So give me the trophy, and the first task of your trial is done.
The first task?
Well, there was only one to begin with, but then I thought you could do something else for us.
I see. So what do you want me to do next? Kill a dragon? Catch a water sprite?
Hilarious. Better listen up, lad. Nicholas the huntsman has a very fine old hunting horn. But we'd like Nicholas better without any horns. Understand?
Wait. What's all this about?
Nothing to worry yourself with now. Get the horn, and we'll have a bit of fun.
All right. So where is this horn?
Sometimes he carries it with him. It is a badge of office, after all. But I don't suppose he sleeps with it. Best to go at night and have a look around his lodge. It's on the hill above the village, opposite the castle. Come back to me as soon as you've got the horn. I can't wait to see the look on Nicholas's face.
Right. I'll get to it.
Glad to hear it. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My humble greetings. How may I help you?
I've got a few questions about these poachers.
So ask.
I heard you saw something fishy in the forest.
That's right, I did.
Can Can you describe what you saw?
It was after dark, I remember that. I went up past the castle along by the clearing, and I saw someone had lit a fire, and there were figures singing and dancing, and I could hear the whistling of a pipe. And I could smell roast meat. It was like a feast of some sort. Only I thought maybe it was some witch's Sabbath, so I was afraid to stay too long in case they saw me.
Did you recognize anyone there? Someone from the village, maybe?
No. Like I said, it was dark. All I could see was shadowy figures moving around.
Did you hear any familiar voices?
No. But I heard girls' laughter, goblets clinking, a piper play.
Where is the clearing?
A short walk north of the castle. There's a track past the woodcutter's camp that takes you there.
Thanks. What do you make of this poaching that's been going on?
It's clear as day. Hannikin Hare's back. And putting those antlers on Nicholas's house? Well, we all know what that means, don't we? It's the sign of a cuckold, you mark my words.
You mean to say his wife's cheating on him?
All I'm saying is she...
Who's this
Hannikin Hare? There was a time he was master huntsman here, and Margaret was set to be his wife. But then he got himself accused of murder and fled before they could hang him. Margaret and his job both ended up going to Nicholas.
So what's the story between Hare and Margaret?
It was complicated. He wanted her and she wanted him too, I reckon. At least for a while. But then she hitched up with Nicholas, and now she says she never had a thought of wedding Hannikin Hare.
So what went on between Hare and the huntsman?
Those two? There was no love lost between them from the moment Hare arrived. And then Margaret got involved. It was a messy business.
Do you think Hare really killed that man?
Who knows the truth of it now? I did find it all a bit odd. Hare never was much of a hothead. But then again, no one really knew him that well. And Margaret never wanted to speak of it. Wouldn't hear a word about it.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return. So far, I've just heard vague rumours.
Well, now, I wouldn't say I'm completely sure. I suppose some other mischief maker could have done it, but better the devil you know. And everyone hereabouts knows Hare.
Stop trying to wriggle out of it. Do you realise who I am?
Not really.
But you know who Radzig Cobbler is, right?
Of course.
I'm his right-hand man, and I'm helping the huntsman catch the poachers. So, I'm not someone you should be messing around.
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But promise not to tell Nicholas I said it.
I'll do what I can, but I need to let him know what I discover. So, out with it.
It's to do with Margaret, his wife. They say it's all because of her.
Keep going.
I know full well Hare's here, because Margaret admitted as much.
What did she tell you?
That he waited in the woods till she came by and they exchanged some words. Words was all she told me. Who knows what they actually got up to?
And what did they speak about?
I don't know. But if Nicholas knew they'd met, he'd most likely kill her.
You're sure she wasn't saying it in jest?
Oh, no. Margaret wouldn't joke about something like that.
Well, you're the first who's certain of Hare's return.
Well, now...
You were singing a different song not long ago.
So? Why do you want to know so much, anyway?
It's nothing to you, but I'm helping Nicholas unmask that local poaching gang.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. And you also know not to keep anything from me. So, what's the story with that Hare?
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But
Keep... What?
that he...
That's all I need.
God be with you.
Mother of... Good luck, then.
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
I heard you have poacher trouble.
Certainly do. They're running wild around here, and they kill a lot more than they take. Many a time I've seen a carcass just thrown in a ditch.
Why would someone just toss their catch in the woods? It doesn't make sense.
The wagging tongues say they're just doing it to spite the huntsman.
Do you have any idea who the poachers could be?
If I knew, the bastards would be strung up by now.
Don't tell me you've heard nothing at all.
Well, I did hear that Thomas, that fellow who works at the bathhouse, was mouthing off recently, saying he'd go and bag himself some game and lay on a right feast for the village girls.
I see. Has anyone seen those poachers with their own eyes?
No, just the dead game they leave behind. But blacksmith Betty saw some goings-on in the woods.
Goings-on? What's that supposed to mean?
Well, that's what she said, and I ain't one to pry.
Why would anyone want to take revenge on the huntsman?
He's not the best-liked man in the village. We all know that. And then there are those who say Hannikin Hare is back.
Who's Hannikin Hare?
You're not from around here, are you? The Hare's quite the Talmberg legend. He used to be master huntsman here once, but then he ran off.
Why did he run?
Well, it just so happens I know the answer to that. Some big important nobleman came to Talmberg around then, and they made a grand occasion of it. And in the midst of it all, Hare had a falling out with some man-at-arms and knocked him in the moat. The poor bugger broke his neck. They picked the Hare up, but before they could take him before the court, he vanished.
Why take revenge on Master Huntsman Nicholas?
Because of Nicholas's wife, Margaret. Hare had his eye on her back then, but she didn't care for him and he was fuming. Well, and after he disappeared, Nicholas got his post.
Where did he run to?
No one really knows. They say he's hiding in secret tunnels beneath the castle, but that's all fairy tales. It's been years. As I see it, he's underground all right, 6 feet down and cold.
I want to...
See you later.
What in the...
like to ask you about Hannikin Hare.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to talk about that.
Listen, I know the Hare is here, and I know you spoke with him. And if you don't want your husband to find out, you better start talking.
Wait! You can't say something like that to Nicholas. God knows what he'd do.
It's in your hands whether I tell him or not.
All right, all right. What do you want to know?
What did you talk about in the woods with Hannikin Hare?
I see Betty's mouth's been busy.
Don't blame her. I had to work hard to weasel it out of her. Now tell me.
Oh, all right. Well, it seems Hannikin Hare's exile has addled his brain. He told me he'd go off with me, that he still loves me and nonsense like that.
And what about you?
What do you mean? I was so shocked, I couldn't even scream.
Is that all he told you?
He said if I change my mind, I'm to hang a garland of forget-me-nots on the house and wait for him at that place of ours.
Where was it you saw him exactly?
I wish I could tell you. The whole thing was like a fever dream. I almost got lost trying to get out of the forest. Even if I remembered, it wouldn't be any use to you. Hannikin Hare moves through the forest like a ghost. He knows every tree root off by heart.
I want you to hang that garland on the lodge.
But I don't want to go anywhere with him.
You don't have to go anywhere. But tell me, where's that secret meeting place of yours?
On the way to Ujits. Back then, we used to meet by the great big beech tree, right next to the wayside shrine. There's a lovely view there, you see.
And what time will he be waiting there for you?
At dawn. What are you going to do to Hare?
Never you mind. The main thing is it will all get sorted out. And that's all that matters, isn't it?
I suppose so. Very well, then. I'll hang the garland for you.
That'll be everything.
God be with you.
God be with you.
There's more I'd like to ask about.
Well?
I need your hunting horn.
What? Why, for Christ's sake?
I have the poachers hooked. If I take your horn...
But that horn's valuable.
Don't worry. Give it to me, and you'll get it back along with the whole gang in chains.
All right, if I absolutely... Here you go. Take...
I've good news, Master Huntsman. I tracked down one of the poachers right here in the village.
Excellent. Who is he?
Black Lukesh.
I might have known. That fellow has quite a reputation. All bad. And how about the rest of them?
The rest?
Black Lukesh is a ruffian and a thief, but he doesn't have the brains to organize an operation like that.
I don't know about any others so far, but I'm on the scent.
So, keep at it, and let me know when you find out more. Take care. Do you need help?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I have that horn for you.
Ah, I'm looking forward to seeing the smile wiped off Nicholas's face when he finds out. As for you, the old man says you're in.
Last time you told me that if I brought the horn, you'd finally tell me what's going on.
Let's put it this way. Our old man's had it in for Master Huntsman Nicholas for years.
Why does he have it in for him?
There's more than one reason. But the heart of it is Nicholas lied under oath and almost got him hanged.
That's a fair enough reason.
You're telling me.
What's he trying to achieve?
If you want to know, ask around the village what they think of the Master Huntsman. The old man is making a bigger and bigger fool of him day by day. Soon enough, the gossip will reach the ears of Sir Divish himself. And that's just what the old man wants.
It wouldn't by any chance be that Hannikin hair everyone's talking about, would it?
Hear ye, hear ye. The lad is smarter than he looks. It is him, as it happens. What have you been hearing about him?
I've heard all sorts of things. Some people said he's a sorcerer who can talk to animals.
I'll have to tell Hannigan that one. It's no surprise, though. To this day, folk can't get their heads around that escape of his.
And how did he make his escape?
What do I know? He's never told anyone. Anyway, if you want to know the details, ask him yourself.
It wouldn't by any chance be that Hannikin hair everyone's talking about, would it?
Hear ye, hear ye.
They said he killed some man-at-arms and fled.
Who keeps spreading those lies? Some folk haven't the sense they were born with. Anyway, if you want to know the details, ask him yourself.
It wouldn't by any chance be that Hannikin hair everyone's talking about, would it?
Hear ye, hear ye. The lad is smarter than he looks. It is him, as it happens. What have you been hearing about him?
I heard the huntsman dropped him in it because of Margaret.
As my old grandma used to say, the truth always comes out in the end. Anyway, if you want to know the details, ask him yourself.
So, what comes next?
We're just getting something big ready. We'll make camp in the north of Broder Woods. There's a concealed glade, and that's where you'll find us.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good evening.
I want to talk.
Oh, very.
That'll be.
God be with you.
Isn't that all you got?
Well, come here. Yeah. Yeah.
do rána, muzika nám vyhrává, víme chlapci, chlapci, bílé víno spávají.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What are you gaping at? Have you paid? No? Then get lost.
Hey,
What are you gaping at?
who are you?
Have you paid? No? Then get lost.
No business here.
I hope I can be.
I'm here to find out about the poachers gang, and I need to ask a few questions.
Well, ask away. I don't have all day.
Blacksmith Betty saw people feasting in the woods, and she says there was a nice smell of venison. What do you know about it?
Nothing. I wasn't there.
And I don't suppose you'll tell me who was.
No, because I wasn't there.
So, you're saying you've not been poaching?
How many times do I have to explain? I've never stolen so much as a rabbit. I was just in a tavern, bragging, that's all.
So, how do you account for my finding some deer antlers in your shed?
Well,
Come on, let's hear the truth.
all right. But promise me you won't drag me into anything.
Speak up and who knows? I might put in a word for you.
All right. The truth is I did drag a deer carcass there, but I didn't do the shooting. I was given it.
That's a likely story.
Honestly, not a word of a lie. I caught the poacher just as he was skinning it.
And who might that be?
I don't know.
If you don't tell me who it was, I've no reason to believe that story of yours.
Fine. Fine. He's one of the charcoal men. I've seen him taking the charcoal to the forge. His name is Radan.
There are plenty of charcoal burners around here.
He came from the charcoal piles south of here. If you follow the creek upstream, you can't miss them.
Well, you better pray I find him, because if you've been lying to me, I'll go straight to the castle. Understood?
I'm telling the truth, I swear. I'm sure you'll find him there.
We'll see.
May the Lord watch over you. Hey, you there. What are you going to hang around here shaking like a stuck squirrel all day and night? I'll pay for a bar. Here on.
Yeah!
I'm guessing Nicholas won't be joining us. Who the devil are you?
I thought you wanted to meet up with Margaret.
Fortunately, I'm not that much of a fool anymore. I was hoping I'd tempt Nicholas out of his lair. But let's get to the point. Who are you, and what are you doing here?
My name is Henry, and I work for the Master Huntsman.
So are you going to arrest me?
I am.
All I ask is that you listen to me first.
Why should I listen to you?
Because if you care about justice, you're after the wrong man.
Anyone can say that.
And that's precisely why the accused should get a proper hearing.
Let me guess. You're going to tell me you're innocent.
I wouldn't presume. I've been poaching on the Divish estate, and I'll take the punishment I deserve. But the crime I was nearly strung up for, that one I didn't commit.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Anhillinin of Zaluch.
The nobleman?
I used to be. My house became sadly impoverished, and I became the master huntsman at Talmberg.
Gamekeeper turned poacher. I see. That's quite a transformation.
Nicholas gave me no choice.
What happened to your family?
My father lost his influential friends and the money with them. After his death, I inherited only his debts. There was nothing for it but to sell off all our possessions, see to my sister's welfare, and manage as best I could.
That sounds a rough deal.
Believe it or not, I never cared for the life of a nobleman. I spent my youth running free, hunting in the woods.
What happened between you and Nicholas?
I was falsely accused of murder. Henry of Lipa visited Talmberg, and the morning after the banquet in his honor, one of his men was found dead.
And didn't they have any cause to suspect you?
That's just it, they did. At the banquet, I got into a fight with the man.
I know Sir Hamish of Lipa. Was Sir Henry his father?
Indeed. He was on his way to Rattay to take charge of the fiefdom for young Sir Hans Capon.
Why did you get into a fight with him?
The fall of the House of Zalush was the work of the Lords of Lifa, and that fellow took great delight in reminding me of it.
And then what?
Nicholas began to pull strings. Several people came forward as witnesses to say they saw me with the fellow later that night.
Why would he have done that?
He wanted rid of me. We were both in love with the same lass, you see, and Margaret is his wife today. But back then, there was no question which of the two of us would win her. I was the huntsman of noble blood, and Nicholas was just plain Nick. Her father's preference was clear.
Do you know who did kill the man?
No. He was found in a ditch with his neck broken. He could have tripped and fallen, all on his own.
And that never occurred to anyone?
It did. But some people swore they'd seen us jostling on the drawbridge. Of course, that was Nicholas's doing.
What did Margaret think of you?
She took me for a fool. She only had eyes for Nicholas, but I didn't see it then. In the end, she could have saved me.
How?
She could have told the truth. After the banquet, I was with her. But when they asked her, she said she hadn't seen me that night.
How did you get out of it?
What leads you to imagine I did?
Your head's still on your shoulders, so you must have escaped somehow.
I'm alive. But my name and my family's name has been dragged through the mud. For me, that's worse than the sentence waiting for me.
You say so. You still managed to get away.
Well, it's true I had the good fortune to escape from the dungeon.
From the Talmberg dungeon? That can't be done, can it?
It's not too hard when the lord of the castle himself helps you escape.
So, Divish set you free? From his own dungeon?
He couldn't offend Henry, so he had to lock me up. But he trusted me. We were friends, after all. He led me out of the castle in the night. I was given a good horse, and in a couple of days I was in Silesia. And that was the end of it. At least until now.
And how did it happen?
It's a long...
I've got time to...
All right. But for you to understand, I have to start from my house.
Gamekeeper.
Nicholas gave...
What happened?
I was false.
And didn't they have any...
That's just it.
And then what?
Nicholas.
Why would he have done...
He wanted... But...
How...
What leads you to...
Your head's still...
I'm alive. Well...
An interesting story.
I can't complain of boredom. The question is, will anyone believe me?
And how did it...
My house. Nicholas gave...
Even if I believed you, there's no proof. It all happened a long time ago.
I know. But if I didn't believe in my own innocence, I'd have to be crazy to have done what I did.
Why?
If I truly were guilty, why would I risk coming back to Bohemia? I could have died in peace as a rich man in the pay of the Jagiellonians. Only a fool would come back.
Nicholas took everything you had, regardless of your guilt or innocence. I'd say you have more than enough cause to want revenge.
I'm not like him. Anyway, you're right. I don't have any proof of my innocence. All I can give you is my word.
This is one of the most insane stories I've heard lately.
That doesn't surprise me.
But something tells me you're speaking the truth, Anakin Hare.
Thank you. And if you want to help me, come to the old mine gallery in Broadwoods.
I'll be there.
I have a plan, but I need some help.
So, what are you up to?
Working out how to get Nicholas's confession.
And how would you do that exactly?
Simple. I'll have him sign it. I've had the priest in Youngwoods write me out the parchment. When Nicholas signs it, he'll admit to everything written down there.
How do you want to force him to do that?
He won't have a choice, or rather he will have, between his wife Margaret and the job of huntsman.
I'm not following this at all.
It's plain enough. We'll kidnap Margaret. That's to say, you'll kidnap Margaret while I distract Nicholas. If he wants to see her again, he won't have any choice.
Kidnapping? That doesn't seem like much of a way to clear your name.
No. Take a look around you, Henry. Sigismund kidnapped Wenceslas, his own brother. And Divish was abducted by Medek of Waldeck.
True, but Sigismund and Medek kidnapped the men they wanted to bargain with. You're thinking of taking a man's wife who's done nothing to deserve it.
And what of it? Those others did it for money or power. I'm doing it to redeem my honor. And since you mentioned Margaret, she's not all that innocent. I could have swung because of her.
So that confession is just a scrap of parchment with writing on it. What will happen to him after that?
That scrap of parchment is for Sir Divish in the provincial court. But we'll be generous to Nicholas and let him leave in peace before we deliver the confession to Talmberg.
So Nicholas will go free, and you'll clear your name?
Hopefully.
So what do I need to do?
First of all, I need to steal Nicholas's hunting. I gave Lukash the job, but he hasn't managed it so far.
In all the confusion, I kind of forgot about it. I got the warning.
I see. Good. That's one less thing I have to worry about. I'm sure Nicholas will recognize it sounding quite far off. I'll lure him out of the lodge and dump him.
And I meant to kidnap his wife while he's gone.
Of course, it would be best if she went with you voluntarily, but if not, you'll just have to drag her with you.
I don't know. What if there's trouble?
That's why I'm sending you. I trust you. But whatever happens, Margaret mustn't be hurt. When you get her, bring her here. Then we can decide what's next.
All right.
Yeah. 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 What's that? Who are you? Hey, you! Hold! All right, you surrender! I warned you, you know. Well, you won't forget this.
Still quite hungry.
Sure, I heard. What are you up to here? Get out of here, or I'll call the guards on you. God.
Good work, Henry. Now we have to pick fast.
No.
Believe me, it gives me no... Take this confession.
What if he
You'll have to make it.
I'm not...
Believe me.
Sue. And what if he...
Then of course you'll...
All right. I'll get to it.
Here's the document.
Where will I find you?
I'll wait for you.
I understand.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Have you seen my wife?
Yes,
Well, speak. How do you...
because I was
What?
bluster. Yeah,
What?
now listen to me. I've been charged by Hannikin.
Do you think I...
No, you're wrong.
So,
I swear it.
there.
There's an old mine.
I certainly... Hey.
Yeah.
So, have you got it?
It's done. Yes.
Well.
What now?
We'll go together.
And
don't worry. We'll wait until more.
Right.
Anakin Hare, I never expected to see you again.
It was the will of God that I returned.
You realize that Sir Henry of Lipa has never repealed his sentence against you. I'm duty-bound to arrest you and turn you over to the provincial court.
Perhaps. But will you read this first? Henry here is my witness that your master huntsman Nicholas signed it himself. This ought to change their minds.
It might. I'm sorry, Anakin. I always trusted you. But your guilt seemed irrefutable. Nicholas was very thorough. Oh, there's no doubting his own confession. Captain.
Yes, sir.
Have the Master Huntsman arrested.
That won't be necessary. I don't think they'll find him.
I understand. So, what's to be done with you now? Poaching and kidnapping the Master Huntsman's wife. You see my difficulty.
I know. I can't stay here. It's enough to know my name is cleared.
I'll have a letter drawn up to recommend you to the service of Sir Vincent at Vellish Castle.
Thank you, sir.
But if Nicholas has vanished and we're sending you to Vellish, then who's going to be my master hunter here?
There's one obvious candidate. Henry here. Help me bring Nicholas to justice. And he's no disgrace as a hunter.
Really? Well, what of it, young man?
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry. It would be an honor, sir.
Good, good. Then I hereby name you Master Huntsman at Talmberg Castle. My Chamberlain will tell you more about your new responsibilities. Good luck to you, Hannigan.
Thank you, Henry. I could never have managed it without you. God willing, we'll